Now, in the light of the ongoing war in Ukraine, China reportedly is going to make a choice between a long-standing profitable economic partnership with the West and a growing strategic partnership with Moscow. Now, US President Joe Biden alluded to this choice as he warned that Beijing would regret siding with Moscow in this conflict.
I think that China understands that its economic future is much more closely tied to the West than it is to Russia. And so I'm hopeful that he does not get engaged.
The Biden administration has been pressurizing China to not support Russia by helping it counter Western sanctions and providing it with military assistance. So far, Beijing has not condemned Russia's actions in Ukraine, though it has said that Western sanctions are counterproductive and completely unilateral. So let's break down the figures that are at stake here in this conflict. Now, based on trade flows alone, China has a lot to lose if US sanctions Beijing over its stance on the war. The United States remains one of the biggest trading partners of China, and its economic interests remain heavily skewed to Western democracies. China's economic growth is also more dependent on trade at about 35% of its GDP, and the wealthy G7 countries that form the heart of the anti-Russian alliance still consume almost a third of China's exports. Although Russia's overall trade with China has grown, total trade between China and Russia stands at about $146.9 billion. Now, this is mainly China importing oil, gas and agricultural commodities from Moscow. But China's exports to Russia have remained pretty steady, between 1 to 2% for the past 20 years. Now, compared to this, trade between China and the United States amounts to about $755.6 billion. While the United States does not depend on Russia for any major goods, Western sanctions against China would also cause significant difficulties for Washington. From computers to mobile phones to toys and textiles, the United States is very reliant on China for major goods across all sectors. Another reason why Washington is keen on avoiding an economic or a trade war or sanctioning Beijing over this war in Ukraine. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.